Harley Davidson just pulled a shocking move that completely destroyed the competitors. With its new Hero Cash campaign, Harley is slashing prices on 2025 models by up to $1,200. But wait till you hear who Harley is targeting to kickstart its sluggish sales this time. Between July 1st and August 31st, 2025, Harley is running this campaign where military veterans, active duty personnel, and first responders can get up to $1,500 in what they call Hero Cash if they buy specific 2025 models. Yup, Harley is basically saying, you serve the country, here's a fat discount and some extra chrome. And for everyone else, you get a little pat on the back and a $250 credit toward accessories or riding gear. A windscreen here, a helmet there, don't spend it all in one place. Now look, we're going to say this straight. There's nothing wrong with showing respect to veterans and military guys. If anything, they deserve more than just some company incentives. So when Harley says this is about honoring service, cool, that's great. What we are questioning is the strategy. Because while this looks like a generous gesture on the surface, underneath, it's the same old Harley playing the same old playlist on repeat. See, Harley knows exactly who buys their bikes. It's not 25-year-old TikTokers in skinny jeans. It's guys who grew up on Easy Rider and Metallica. Their core audience is older, proud, patriotic, and yeah, a whole bunch of them are veterans or first responders. This Hero Cash thing, it's less of a growth plan and more of a let's hold on to the people who still like us plan. And that brings us to the real punch in the exhaust pipe. Harley's still not doing anything, literally anything, for the younger audience. Millennials and Gen Z riders are out here looking for slick, tech-loaded, fuel-efficient bikes that don't scream midlife crisis. What's Harley doing? Dropping prices and giving out discounts to the same crowd they've always catered to. It's like they're stuck in 2005 with no Wi-Fi. Now let's talk about how this whole pricing circus is melting the brains of Harley's competitors. Because if you think Indian Motorcycle and Triumph are just chilling while Harley does this, think again. These brands are used to Harley acting like the luxury boss, premium bikes, premium prices, premium attitude. So when Harley suddenly flips the table and starts acting like they've joined the affordable club, that's not just unexpected, it's confusing. And it might force some serious reevaluations in boardrooms. The Road King Special, which used to be $25,749, is now going for $24,999. That's a $750 drop. Nothing insane, but hey, it's Harley. They usually raise prices just because the paint dried slower. Then comes the Lowrider S. Used to be $20,499, now down to $19,999. That's the magic under $20,000 psychology at work. Like dropping a single dollar makes us feel like we're saving our future. But wait, Street Bob 114? That chunky cruiser that sounds like a blender with anger issues? Used to be $17,199. Now it's $15,999. That's a solid $1,200 down. Respect. And then there's the Nightster, the budget warrior of the bunch. It was $10,499, and now it starts at $9,999. Finally, Harley has joined the four-digit club. It's a historic moment, folks. I mean, they haven't done something this bold since they put out an electric bike and charged more than Tesla for it. But here's the thing. This isn't just some random summer sale. Nope, this is a full-blown strategy shift, and it started July 1st, 2025. Harley's trying to reverse a sales slump that's been creeping in like a bad oil leak. They need numbers, and they need them now, which explains why they're suddenly acting like a Black Friday department store. And honestly, it's throwing their competitors into a full-blown identity crisis. Harley has always prided itself on being premium. You didn't just buy a Harley, you became a Harley guy. Leather vest, beard, sunglasses, probably an American flag bandana somewhere in the mix. You weren't just riding a motorcycle, you were riding an entire stereotype. And now suddenly, they're playing the discount game? That's like Rolex announcing a back-to-school special. See, Harley's US market share in the heavyweight cruiser category has been floating between 33 to 35%, which is solid but not invincible. Rivals have been eating into that share by being more aggressive, more tech-savvy, and a hell of a lot cheaper. And that's before we even talk about Royal Enfield and Kawasaki, who are straight up owning the budget-friendly segment right now. These guys are pumping out bikes under 10K that look cool, ride smooth, and actually attract young people who don't collect retirement checks yet. Analysts, of course, are having a field day with all this. Some say Harley's price cuts might boost sales temporarily, but it's not fixing their bigger issue: an aging customer base and a brand identity that's practically allergic to change. It's a band-aid on a leaking fuel tank. Sure, you'll ride a little further, but eventually you're still going to stall. And here's the part that has competitors laughing nervously. This isn't an offensive move. Harley's not trying to dominate the game. This is defense mode. It's a let's not lose more ground tactic. A stall, a patch, a move made out of necessity, not vision. Indian, Triumph, even BMW. They're not worried about this turning into a revolution. They're watching Harley try to keep the lights on with the same crowd that's been riding with them since the Reagan era. Let's talk about Harley's biggest problem. And no, it's not the price tags anymore. It's their audience. The average Harley rider is now in their 50s. Yeah, the 50s. Meanwhile, other brands like Kawasaki, Yamaha, or even Royal Enfield are locking in riders who are in their 30s and 40s. That's like being stuck in a retirement home while your competitors are hosting pool parties with 25-year-olds. Harley used to be the cool rebel brand, but now it's the brand your dad, or worse, your granddad, rides to the diner at 7 a.m. on Sundays. That's not a good look if you're trying to stay relevant in 2025. And here's where Harley really screwed up. They completely missed the millennial wave. Remember those bikes they launched a few years back? The Street 500 and Street 750? Oh yeah, they were supposed to bring in the younger crowd. They didn't. Why? Because Harley thought all they had to do was slap a smaller engine in a frame and millennials would come running. But guess what? Those bikes were overpriced, underwhelming, and honestly, just kind of sad. Millennials looked at those bikes and said, "Why would I spend this much on a wannabe cruiser when I can get something cooler and cheaper from Yamaha or Honda?" It was a total mismatch. Harley didn't understand the vibe millennials wanted. Then we have the tech gap, and it's a canyon. While everyone else is rolling out bikes with slick digital dashboards, Bluetooth, ride modes, and app connectivity, Harley's still out here pushing old-school analog speedometers like it's 1985. Newsflash, younger riders want features. They want their bike to talk to their phone, their helmet, maybe even their smartwatch. Harley's stubborn insistence on staying classic just makes them look old. I mean, sure, Chrome looks cool, but Chrome doesn't connect to Spotify. And hey, if you're agreeing with all the things being discussed because you want the real talk on Harley and the motorcycle world, smash that subscribe button. Let's ride this truth train together. And let's not even start on the Livewire fiasco. Harley's electric bike was supposed to be this big revolutionary step into the future, the thing that would bring in Gen Z riders who care about sustainability and cutting-edge tech. But here's the kicker. The Livewire cost $22,799 plus. Who exactly did they think would buy that? A college student working 2 part-time jobs? Number that's a Tesla price tag for a motorcycle. It was dead on arrival for most young riders. Sure, it's a cool concept bike, but cool doesn't pay 23 grand. Now, to be fair, Harley's Hero Cash idea is a nice touch. It honors veterans, and I can respect that all day long. Those riders built a lot of Harley's reputation, and they deserve recognition. But let's be real, it doesn't fix the long-term issue. You can't keep relying on the same aging customer base forever. At some point, you have to look at the next generation and actually offer them something they want. Right now, Harley's just doubling down on nostalgia instead of building a pipeline of younger riders. That's not a plan. It's procrastination with Chrome. Now, let's shift gears to the sales game, because Harley is pulling every stunt they can think of to squeeze some numbers out of 2025. And they need it badly. Did you know that Harley's global shipments dropped nearly 7% in 2024? That's not a little dip. That's a faceplant. And in the US, their sales were down by about 5% year over year. So yeah, these new price cuts and Hero Cash deals, they're not just generous gestures, they're survival tactics. But here's the catch. By slashing prices and throwing cash offers around, Harley is messing with its own high-margin reputation. For decades, the brand has been all about premium pricing. You paid more because you were buying into the Harley lifestyle, loud pipes, black leather, freedom, all that jazz. But now they're basically saying, hey, maybe we were a little overpriced. Want to buy now? Sure, it might push some extra sales in the short term, but it's also kind of eating away at that luxury vibe they built. The whole campaign is laser-focused on the loyalists. That July to August 2025 window isn't random. Harley knows veterans, older riders, and die-hard fans will jump on this fast. They're not trying to convince the undecided crowd here. They're trying to light a fire under their existing base. And the dealers? They're in full hustle mode, offering financing perks, trade-in bonuses, probably throwing in a free keychain too, just to get people through the doors. If that doesn't scream urgency, I don't know what does. But some experts are not buying the hype. They're saying that leaning so heavily on temporary offers is dangerous. It's like giving your brand a sugar high. You'll feel good for a while, but the crash is coming. And the more Harley dips into discounts, the more they risk eroding their premium image. At some point, people will stop seeing Harley as the aspirational brand and start seeing it as just another bike company desperate to move inventory. That's not the vibe you want when you're supposed to be the king of the open road. Which brings us to the million-dollar question. What's next for Harley? Because price cuts and hero cash might give them a quick bump, but it's not solving the deeper identity crisis. Harley is still caught between clinging to its past and trying to figure out how to connect with the future. The older audience loves them, sure, but the younger crowd? They're barely paying attention. If Harley wants to stay alive for the next few decades, they need more than discounts. They need bikes that actually make 20-somethings say, I want that. The loyalty factor is strong. Don't get me wrong. Harley's respect for military and veterans will always resonate with Americans, and that's something they'll never lose. But the younger generation needs a different message. They want affordable entry models that look cool, perform well, and don't cost as much as a used car. Until Harley figures that out, they'll keep watching competitors scoop up the riders they can't reach. Hit that subscribe button for more brutally honest takes, because this ride is just getting started.